the heatwave in Chicago, one of the deadliest heat waves in U.S. history.
It looked like a war zone.
This was a tragedy that should have seared itself into the mind and memory of every American, but it didn't.
Racism and poverty determined who would live and die during the heat wave.
Not really about the heat. It's about a lack of compassion on a lot of parts.
The real story is, why were people in these neighborhoods dying?
The heat.
Hello, teacher. Well, this video is about Heatwave Chicago 1995. Points. The principal points are introduction, what happened, why, and the conclusion. Chicago Heatwave 1995. It all began on July 40th on 1995 when an unusual event occurred that affected Chicago, a heat wave that not one was prepared for. First of all, when we talk about Chicago, everyone generally thinks about how cold it is, and it's true, but in Chicago there also summer. That is when this event becomes important. Well, when we talk about a heat wave, we don't imagine it's a disaster. We can imagine it as an event that will happen soon, a muggy or sticky moment that we need to endure. But the impressive thing is that is more than we think, just as the inhabitants of Chicago experience it. Well, what happened in this event? The temperature reached 106 degrees Fahrenheit, 41 degrees Celsius, with a wind chill of 126 degrees Fahrenheit. For 2.5 hours, the two and a, 2.5 long days. Not much, but it's enough to be able to remember that day. The Americans were not prepared for this, but meteorologists can track the extreme shock as an upgrade movement in a city, but they do not detect it until it arrives. In this event, people needed help. Firstly, children, adults were in the traffic and in the hospitals. All people began to consume energy through it, air conditioner, and a demand for energy was generated so much, so that is in the year the energy record was broken. Therefore, the elevators didn't work, the water pumps didn't raise water on the upper floors, and the air conditioner no longer worked. In some neighborhoods, all the water hydrants were opened, about 3,000 at the same time. There were even reports of people throwing stones and bottles. There were even shooting because of it. There was a war for basic resources while trying to cool down the city's children because some children got stuck in the yellow trucks on the way home. That week, the roads are buckling and the bridges are expanding, so some access roads were not open, creating a huge traffic jam on the roads. During the heat wave, half of the hospitals closed, meaning everyone knew someone in the emergency room. Then people began to die, but the government's leaders were not in the city. They left to the city to cool off on a beach. From her, controversy arose because he had distanced himself from the people. There is this heat waves and on July 20 of that year was really don't know what went wrong in this great disaster and what causes this organization that caused 7,739 deaths. That's all about Chicago heatwave. Thanks for your attention.